I watched the rest of Peacemaker. And Peacemaker, episodes 1 and 2 were good. Episode 1 was great. Episode 2 was fine. 3 and 4 were awful. So I made a video on it, talked about how I wasn't excited for the rest of this to be in my brain. And I watched the rest of Peacemaker 5 through 8. And there was a couple of moments where I laughed. There was a couple of moments where I felt sad for Peacemaker. But there's a couple of things I want to talk about within the Peacemaker realm and James Gunn himself. And those things are this, right? I genuinely think John Cena is great as Peacemaker. I think that casting is incredible. Over the weekend, I was on vacation, so I had time to reflect back on the show. And in doing so, I also watched Suicide Squad. Both of them, actually. And let me tell you, that first one's garbage, but James Gunn's is actually pretty good. Idris Elba, by the way, amazing. Anyway, Peacemaker in that movie was great. Him in the show is like an amplified version of it, but with like bloated, bad dialogue comedy sometimes. I say sometimes because James Gunn has the tendency to do that in some of his projects, but he also has a tendency to make you want more of whatever he's doing because he puts so much time, effort, and heart into what he does that it's like, I don't know, it makes you want more. Like, for instance, Peacemaker, episodes 5, 6, 7, 8, I didn't like, they were fine. There were, like I said, there's a couple of moments where I laughed out loud, but it wasn't like anything crazy. The story didn't really, I didn't really care for it. It was kind of like Suicide Squad, but with little, butterflies instead of stars. It's kind of the same thing, right? But what it did do is have a great connection between characters, and it had a lot of heart. And it got to the point where my wife was like, "What'd you do last night?" And I was like, "I watched Peacemaker." And she's like, "Why you keep watching that show? You don't even like it." And I was like, "Yeah, well, whatever." Then the next day she'd be like, "What are you going to do tonight?" And I was like, "Watch Peacemaker. I'll just finish out the show." But then I finished the show on Thursday, and on Friday she was like, "What are you going to do?" And I was like, "Watch Peacemaker." Oh my God, there's not another Peacemaker episode until August. And I was like genuinely sad. How does that happen? It was a show that was like a throwaway show for me. I didn't even really care about it that much. And then it got to the point where I cared about it and was like sad that I wasn't seeing it again until August. Like it was a crazy, the moment that happened, I looked at her, I was like, oh my God, I think I like the fucking show. I think I actually liked Peacemaker. Why do I care about it so much? And honestly, it got to the point where I watched Suicide Squad because I was like, I want to see this character more. And I'll talk about that movie in a different video and a couple other DC things that I watched over the weekend because goddamn. But what James Gunn does is he gives you character connections and he gives you heart and development in stories. And I honestly appreciate it. And I liked Peacemaker, I think.